It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we'll get to see a battle for conference superiority. It's the Baltimore Ravens and the Washington Commanders on Monday Night Primetime.
Commanders Field holds a little more than 80,000, and they have come out in droves here in Landover, Maryland. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
It's the Battle of the Beltway. Baltimore and Washington are underway. Oh, a good-looking return setup here. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Number 8, Lamar Jackson, trotting onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense.
And he remains the league's premier rushing threat and one of the biggest playmakers among quarterbacks. His goal each and every season, continue to expand his game as a passer and become well-rounded. All those highlight reel plays you see, they come off the fact that he can run it, throw it, and scares defenses every time he takes a snap.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Jackson looking to throw right away. They complete it to Hill. Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's 2nd down now.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Here's 2nd and 10. They go play action now. Jackson. That's complete. It's Zay Flowers with it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. In motion left, Flowers. From midfield now, here's Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. It'll be a gain of 5, and 3rd and 8 now.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Here's Jackson. That is caught, and he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. A big 3rd down pickup of 20 yards. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical that it'd be this easy. But they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
Now Jackson. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Now it's Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there. So the completion good for just 3. And that brings up third and a full 10 yards. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Jackson now. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
That's a big conversion there on third down, and this has been a great opening drive. You know, at this point, they'd hate to settle for 3, but they've created a fresh set of downs and a first and goal.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
I mean, or else he'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down.
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Here's second and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Inside handoff, Henry. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Derrick Henry, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead.
Sometimes you get a first and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line, and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on first down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And Derrick Henry able to finish it off with a touchdown run. Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here are the Commanders making their way out. Leading them out, their young quarterback, the rookie from LSU.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
They'll run for the first time here with Brian Robinson. And he tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. To throw is Daniels. Got a man right side. It's McCaffrey. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run.
We know play callers can be very creative in this game today, but sometimes when they've got receivers with speed like this, they don't need to design incredibly complex calls. Sometimes it's just get the ball in his hands and let him do his thing. In a sense, less can become more, and it was right there.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. That's caught. It's McCaffrey again. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Another first down as he went right back to the same well, this time for 17 yards.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Daniels looking to throw. Over the middle, that's complete to McCaffrey. So 8 yards on the completion there, and that will bring up 3rd and 1.
Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal.
The opening drive, it continues, Charles, to be all pass, and it's working. Now they're on the doorstep of a touchdown here, 1st and goal.
Brandon, because it's working so well, I think the entire playbook is open for them right now. Do you want to run it? Do you want to continue to throw it? Spin the dial, make your choice. But right now, you like what you're doing in this possession.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Robinson going to take this down just short of the goal line. He got 3, but could not get the ball over the chalk.
Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
Robinson.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A rough go there on 3rd down, a loss of 4. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football
as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. And the first play will be a field goal try. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Gay knocks this one through.
So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus, and indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
A first down carry for Henry. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
From the 42-yard line, here's second down and 5.
To throw is Jackson. And the Washington pressure gets to him, and he will go down. Dietrich Wise running through and dropping him for the sack.
And we all know how talented this guy is who's calling the signals for him, but even the best in the game, they can struggle against a good, cohesive zone coverage. Can't find a gap in the secondary quick enough, and he ends up taking a sack.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. First carry now for Justice Hill. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line. And that is not near enough. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Facing 4th down, Baltimore will punt. Jordan Stout out there.
Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Washington offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10.
To the air goes Daniels.
Open man is Samuel, complete. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
From the 23, here's 2nd and 2. In motion right, Debo. He's going to handle it on the touch pass.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a 1st down, a nice, consistent gain.
Robinson, he'll try the left side.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have a Commanders 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
Back to the ground with Robinson.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Here now, 2nd and 4. Now Daniels.
Got a man. It's Brown. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 33. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Out of the gun, they give to Robinson.
And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Now 2nd and 9. Throwing now is Daniels.
And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Here's Daniels. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
2nd and 10.
Operating from the gun, Daniels.
That's out wide here for Robinson.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts.
As the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Back to throw again. And this is going to be intercepted.
And the Ravens are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half. And with a 7-3 lead, we'll see how aggressive they want to be.
After the interception, here's Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. From the gun, a run for Hill. And he'll just keep two hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Here now, 3rd and a yard. Jackson. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
They go play action with Jackson. A throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Again, Jackson.
Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt.
A call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach!
It was Derrick Henry, as he normally does, making his impact felt in that first half. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Washington offense ready to go to begin the third quarter. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Flushed out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
The veteran Kyle Van Noy in there to drop him.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
If there's any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels.
Here is third and quite a ways.
Back to throw. Daniels. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taking a couple yards shy of midfield. It'll be a 39-yard punt. Give him a good 10 yards on the return. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. They go play action now. Jackson.
Pass on the crossing route is complete. This is Andrews.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
So no gain on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Running from the gun with Henry. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
And, Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson could really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got them on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. 2nd half with the lead. This is when Lamar Jackson.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Derrick Henry with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And they are able to add on to their advantage.
And you can forgive this defense just a bit here. They know how dangerous Lamar Jackson is running the football. Stopping him is in many ways a prime concern. So here, they're late to react to the handoff on the option, and it costs them as this winds up a touchdown.
Now the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen. Ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. Another drive coming up for this Washington offense. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. Play action, now it's Daniels. And he will find his man Samuel. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
And this is what they're going to need more of. It's the 3rd quarter. You're trailing. You've got to come out with a renewed sense of purpose. And that's a nice way to kick off the drive with good yardage and a 1st down.
Working out of the gun, Daniels. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Daniels. Quick slant to Brown. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Robinson will try to pick it up. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
I know they'd love to take some heat off of that young quarterback, but so far, not much in the running game, and this won't help things either. A loss on that play.
Here's Tressway now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Man, confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down. Veteran running back like him, we've seen a lot of those chunk carries in his career.
And that's why you don't just look at his birth certificate and decide when a guy is done, right? Because you know as well as I do, in this league, as soon as you hit 30, they're looking to let you go if you're a running back. Sometimes there's a little tread left on the tires.
Now flags come in. I think one of the Ravens got going a little early.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
The full start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Now Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. Hook up of 15 yards there. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down.
A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches.
Jackson now. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. They'll try and run for it. Here's Hill. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
From this vantage point, they've got the lead here, so for me, that'd be enough to go ahead and punt the football and let my defense defend the long field.
If you go for it, you don't get it, then you really put your defense in a tight spot.
Yeah, but we never know what people ultimately will decide to do here on 4th and inches.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll come on to kick this one away. It's a 39-yard punt, 3 on the return.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. The Commanders' offense and running back Brian Robinson getting set for this next drive. And he's had his fair share of troubles in this one, unfortunately. This defensive front has wreaked havoc throughout the contest, and he hasn't been able to create enough space to make something positive happen to this point.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when he decided not to throw it on 1st down. But give them credit. They recovered in time to deny him the 1st down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short. So that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
Open man is the tight end, John Bates.
First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun.
And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11.
Daniels looking to throw.
On the screen, this is Eckler. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 44-yard line.
Now we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
He's going to use his legs here. Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
It looked like almost a miscommunication defensively because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball. But the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. Marlon Humphrey with the tackle defensively. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Back now at Commanders Field. It's the Commanders in possession of the football, but they trail as we start this 4th quarter. To throw is Daniels.
Caught by the tight end Ertz.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
That is caught, and he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
To the air goes Daniels. Back to Deebo Samuel for consecutive catches.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
A give to Robinson on the option.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And the Commanders are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Robinson again.
And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
And he'll score. Touchdown, Commanders. Deebo Samuel
from 4 yards out.
And the Commanders have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. And we may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And, partner, except for those on the West Coast where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that? Big-time drive right there. If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there, and they went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
So Washington now with an important 2-point conversion attempt.
It's complete, and he will get into the end zone as a 2-point conversion is successful, and the lead is down to a field goal here in the 4th. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. Their lead back down to one score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. A check down here for Henry. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
They'll run it out of the gun with Hill.
And they'll stop him after a gain of a couple to the 33.
And this is the worry because sometimes you can get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up and you're staring at an important 3rd down.
Now a 3rd and 6.
Throwing is Jackson. They set up the screen to Hill. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a pickup of 11 at a Baltimore 1st down.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll try and choose some clock with Henry. He had to fight that time. Ran through 1 tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
They set up the screen for Henry.
Finding room at midfield.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. And give him 9 yards on the 2nd down screen play.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves, that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
They'll send the big tight end in motion right. They'll try to run for the 1st with Henry. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
This has been a tremendous drive to this point, and this is all you want, playing with a lead in the 4th quarter. If you can keep the ball on the ground, keep the sticks moving, you're going to be in good shape to finish this one off.
They keep it with Henry on 1st down. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the ball. Let's go.
Their time to shine. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, 33 yards. And the Ravens are able to build on to their fourth quarter lead. What a huge touchdown that was, obviously, here in the late stages of the fourth quarter as they try to put this one away.
And, Brandon, when they watch the film after this week, they'll be very proud of every rep if they close this game out. Just a few snaps remaining. They can't relax just yet.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. That time, a 9-play drive. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now we get another look at Washington on offense. And they have had problems getting the running game in gear as we look through some of their attempts from earlier. They have just not been able to match the physicality that this defense has shown, and their lack of success on the ground is a direct reflection of that. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing now is Daniels. And that's complete to Brown. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
That's to McCaffrey, complete.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
A 2 timeouts still remaining, but scoring quickly, a must. It's 1st and 10. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Just a difficult situation to be in here in the final minute. Down 2 scores, you know you need some providence from somewhere. They're going to keep firing away till the end, but this one falls incomplete.
Inside a minute to go. Here's 2nd and 10 now. Here's Daniels. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. The Commanders going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here. Now Daniels. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown.
And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the officials and the folks in New York got a second look at this one, and the call is going to be overturned. The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down. Daniels going to throw for it. Able to find the open man. That's complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. This to McLaurin out on the left side. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Ball resting on the 20. This is 2nd and 10.
Back to throw again. And he's got McCaffrey open, complete. And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle with a clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done.
Still have hope.
Coming from where they were, they knew this was going to be tough, but they got the touchdown. Now they need the miracle, the onside kick and a little extra.
Yeah, and you have to get the onside kick and not have the ball bounce around a lot and eat up time. You want to be able to grab it, possess it, and get your offense out there for what you just termed a miracle last chance.
Matt Gay on for the extra point. And the lead is down to a field goal now. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told.
And it was polished off by a Washington touchdown.
So looking at this situation, you should have time for the onside kick and then at least one play. And who's got it? I think the Ravens do, yes. And they're going to win this football game. The risk-reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them. And field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. Down to a knee goes Jackson, and that should seal it.
What a finish in this one, Charles. You know, this group, they come in, they have to fight a hostile atmosphere every snap. They get the late score, they get the victory, and that flight home, it's going to be a little sweeter after this one.
And Brandon, just like you, I was fired up for that last sequence. How about that? Wouldn't you have loved to have been in the huddle when they were mounting that game-winning drive? Big-time moment. No one shied away from it. They tuned out the crowd, kept their heads, and executed the way they needed to earn that win.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. From Washington, thanks for watching, and good night, everybody.